Oh,
Loving it, loving it. A lot of great artists are here, gallery owners. I think this is one of the best. I've been coming for years.
uh-huh.
And it's just amazing. It's just, I mean, talk to the gallery owners, the artists. It's just, I'm coming back tomorrow.
How are you enjoying Art Expo?
It's wonderful. It's
Yeah.
been good. It's been a lot of people. We got a lot of talkies, which is the most important thing, because often if you get a number of people, it's a numbers game. You get a number of people talking, a number of people feel that they like what you do, they'll come back.
Hey, who are you featuring?
The number one feature, as always, for at least for the last 30 years, is Norman Lewis, which is this large picture, which is Exodus. And the second feature, which is extraordinarily important because he passed away a few months ago, is Chicago's own, undoubtedly one of the greatest sculptors in the world, Richard Hunt.
The thing that I found interesting just walking through is the interest in the Black aesthetic. Globally, coming from all around the world. You're a long-time gallerist and collector. What is your sense of that, the keen interest?
I'll say what I say to my son. It's business. And that's where I'll leave it. Okay? You know, so many galleries, you say, well, would they that? Who's carrying that? Who's carrying that? Who's carrying that? It's one of those things you're in favor, so to speak. Okay? And it's business. And that's why I leave it.
Welcome back to Chicago.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice to be back in Chicago and be part of the Expo Chicago once again.
So what kind of delicious pieces of art and exquisite artwork did you bring with you this time?
Well, we brought an assortment of artists, also because we work with artists who are South African and African artists in the diaspora. So for the presentation at Expo Chicago, we picked a few pieces that sort of cover the contemporary and also the modernist space. So we have sculptures by legendary Dumile Feni and Percy Kwangobe. We have contemporary artists such as Vivian Kohler from Cape Town, Rael Sally from the US, and Ransom Stanley based in Munich, and Dr. Kimati Donko from London. But what we're particularly excited about is work by Kagiso Kundani, who's an emerging artist from Johannesburg, who's had a phenomenal run with his solo debut. What I really enjoy about his work is the methodology and the technique that he employs in his work. He uses acrylic ink and graphite to do the outlines, but then he's able to control the viscosity of the acrylic ink to be able to create this sort of like layers and sort of like very lucid kind of feel in his work. Even though it is figurative work, it is very different from what is in the market at the moment. So I really am very, very excited about presenting him to an American market for the first time.
So what are you finding as an international gallerist, the reception for Black art of the diaspora? Have you seen a significant shift and change in the interest in our aesthetic?
I mean, for the last couple of years, the interest in African art and art by Black people or Black artists has been phenomenal and growing and increasing. And also, like in the subject matters, the artists themselves are increasingly exploring different themes and also ways of approaching certain contemporary issues. So it is something that I don't think will go away. I think it will remain constant, and also the interest and the affinity for it can only get bigger and bigger.
We have been voted #1 as part of the top 5 booths at Expo Chicago. So we're like so honored. It came as a complete surprise. So featured in our booth is Delita Martin, Ronald Jackson, Megan Lewis, and Monica Ikebu. So to be recognized amongst all of these incredible artists who are being featured throughout the fair is like, we're really honored to have had that done. Yeah, the artist that created it is, we're having a deep conversation about Europe.
Everyone is intrigued, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Flip something.
The person in this, I've known him since he was 14. His name is Antoine. The piece is called Frolicking. I don't know if y'all remember. It was like a TikTok sensation of like black men, running through the forest or just land and just being joyful. And this is kind of like the aftermath of that. So this is after he has frolicked and just basked and enjoyed himself. Glitter, acrylic, and the subject's painted in oils, like I said.
So your choice to use glitter.
Yeah. It's just an adornment. It's an eye catcher. It's something that's shiny, sparkly, and bedazzled. It's just to adorn the subject. Painters are breaking out of the confines that we found traditionally within painting. And more specifically, you'll see that especially within Megan Lewis's work in our booth, how she's incorporated glitter, different mediums to build up that acrylic, as well as even Ronald Jackson's works. A lot of folks just think that they solely have acrylic and oil, but they also incorporate colored pencil as well.
So who are the other artists here? These are magnificent pieces
Most
here.
certainly. So these works were created by Delita Martin, who is a master printmaker based out of Houston, Texas. And then on the other end of the booth, we also have Monica Ikegwu, who is based in Baltimore, Maryland.
I am from Ebony Curated, which is based in Cape Town and in Franschhoek in South Africa. These works are by an artist called Wale Lagunja from Nigeria, born in Nigeria but now lives in North Carolina and has done so for the last 25 years. The works are extraordinary. Wale won the big Northern Trust Prize last year.
It is the first time. I am loving each and every booth. Is unique. I've had an opportunity to speak to a few different people and about their art. So that's why I want to encourage you. If you've never experienced something like this, don't think that it's not for you. Try it and you will love it.
Well, we have phenomenal artists. We worked with over 101 artists, and one of the artists in the booth, his name is Jeffrey Gibson, and he will be representing the United States in the Venice Biennale next week.